Vamos a ver. Overlay, aquí. Overlay cam. Exacto. Cam 3. En principio, ok. Ready. Vamos allá. Vale. Twitch. Por aquí para ver el chat desde el iPad. Twitch TV. Ah, no sé por qué no me ha puesto la categoría si se supone que me la tenía que haber puesto. Pero bueno. Como esto funciona como le sale del pinganillo, pues... Pues let's go.
No sé por
Cuando salga multimedia, que no ha salido todavía. También digo que Stringcore a veces va un poquito del revés. Ups. Nuestro gorrito de marinero. Vale, vamos a ver. Es que no sé si por qué. Ah, etiquetas no. Categoría. The Secret. Es que está en Twitch está, pero no sé por qué no me la metí. A ver. Twitch. En el estudio. En gestor. The Secret. Monkey Island Special Edition. Hecho. Vale, en principio. Vale, ya está puesta. Perfecto. Se le había ido la turbo ya. Igual la música está un poquito alta. Vale, mover el cursor con el ratón. Me estoy escuchando. Bueno, esto lo vamos a ir tocando un poquito a medida que juguemos, así que... Vale. Mover el cursor de emitiendo. Vale, mover el cursor donde quieras que vaya Bruce. Pincha el botón. Perfecto. Pulsa la tecla V o control para ver los verbos. Pulsar donde vas a hacer. Vale. Vale. Bueno, esto imagino que lo podremos ir viendo más adelante. Cuando tienes activo un objeto, cuando tienes un objeto en el inventario de ahí. Usar en el inventario. Si quieres usar combinar objetos en el inventario, primero selecciona un verbo del menú de verbos y luego despliega el menú de inventario. Usa el cursor para subrayar el artículo que desees activar y pincha en el botón izquierdo del ratón para completar. Vale. Algunos artículos permiten ser usados en combinación con otros, ya sea un entorno o menú de inventario. Vale. Si no tienes claro por dónde tirar, Monkey Island, puedes pulsar la... Vale. Con la H tienes... Vale. Ok. Controles. Pero ¿y el juego? Tienes que ver los créditos. No. Estos son los créditos solamente. F. No me fastidies que, que no me he bajado más que el tutorial. O una especie de cosa random. Pues estupendo, soy un crack. Soy un crack del Averno. A ver, segundillo. Vale, esto no es nada interesante. Me gustaría poder empezar a jugar. Vale, o sea que tienes que verte los títulos, ok. Los créditos, ok. Con eso a mí... Una manera un poco curiosa de empezar el juego. Que es comiéndote los títulos, los de los créditos. Para que no te los puedas saltar, básicamente. Ya puta, ¿cuántos créditos tiene este juego? LOL. Fíjate, en Spy fías de Talking de va. What the fuck. Espérate que me comen los créditos por la cara sin tener que comérmelos, porque no tira para adelante. What? No te puedo creer que me han timado. Joder. Creo que me han hecho la timadita, me parece a mí. ¿Qué pasa, Dexter? La verdad es que tenía que haberlo hecho esto ayer, cuando probé el juego. Y mirar si... ¿Has madrugado? Sí, yo siempre madrugo. Otra cosa es que... eh, cuando me voy a dormir a las 4 de las 5 de la mañana, pues a las 11 no estoy despierto para... Evidentemente. A ver si después de estos créditos no me vuelve a timar el juego. ¿Lo pillaste de Amazon? No, lo pillé de Steam. Lo pillé en Steam. Pero vamos. Que me salieron bastante barato. Me salieron los 4 juegos a 4 euros cada uno. No fue... No fue tampoco mucho dinero. Joder, tío, odio. Ahora, tío. Y estoy aquí intentando entender cómo cojones puedo avanzar en este videogame tan espectacular. Pues menos mal que no me... Pues mira. Dominic Arremato. Es Guybrush Threepwood. Lo que pasa es que aquí te están metiendo una cantidad de spoilers que te cagas, ¿sabes? Hombre, a ver, el juego pues es una aventura gráfica. De las antiguas. Donde hay que pensar. Porque igualmente yo me estoy igual comiendo los trailers porque sí, porque he visto que se hace así, igual no se hace así, ¿sabes? Entonces estoy siendo altamente troleado. Porque seguramente no empiece el juego ahora mismo. Es que ves, no hay otra manera de... O sea, no hay nada que diga juega. A ver. Dice, tras los títulos de créditos aparecerás en el acantilado y comenzarás una conversación divertida en el vigía. Pero es que yo ya me he chupado los créditos y no me ha salido nada. No, el cómo se juega es otra... te explica un poco el funcionamiento. Si este ya lo he hecho yo antes. ¿Ves? Llegas aquí y te dice, pues ok. Creo que lo último... ¿What? ¿Qué cojones? Porque, buah, estoy imbécil, tío. No, si es que estoy imbécil, tío. La edición clásica solo está en inglés, estupendo. Ah, bueno, pero hay subtítulos. Dentro del Caribe. La isla de Millie. Yo fumándome los créditos como un gilipollas, tío. Oh, qué bueno. Ah, vale, que me tengo que comer esto. Vale, estos son los créditos que se refiere el juego o la guía. Vale. No los créditos de... Joder. Qué bien nos lo vamos a pasar. Nos lo vamos a pasar... No, porque en algún momento hubiera dado escape. Más de una vez y he dicho, hostia. Porque no me acordaba que estaban en los ajustes, tío. Porque me he puesto a ajustar... Bueno, no sé si el audio y eso estará bien. Si la música y eso pues, queda por encima de mi voz. Vale, vale. Si no, pues ahora lo ajustaré un poquito más. Ahora vamos. Todo bien, todo correcto. Pues vamos a ver. Hostias.
Hi, my name's Guybrush Threepwood, and I want to be a pirate.
Yikes! Don't sneak up on me like that.
I'm over this way.
Ah, well then, Thriftweed.
Threepwood. Guybrush Threepwood.
I see. So, you want to be a pirate, eh? You look more like a flooring inspector. But if you're serious about pirating, go talk to the pirate leaders. You'll find them in the scum bar.
Gosh, thanks. I'll do that. Bye now. I'm off to seek my fortune.
Good luck.
Where did you say those pirate leaders were?
The scum bar.
Right. Thanks.
Hostia, pues vamos a hacer los dos unos empanados. No es que me haya cambiado de setup, es que me he cambiado de ciudad. Daste. Porque me he venido de vacaciones a Burgos. Vale, ir hacia acantilado, no sé qué. ¿Cómo era?
Re-elect Governor Marley. When there's only one candidate, there's only one choice.
Vale, estupendo. No se puede poner nada por aquí. No. ¿Que estás de mudanza o cómo? Que no. Que me he venido a pasar una semana aquí a Burgos. Ya está. También estamos de vacaciones y nos hemos venido a pasar las vacaciones aquí. Vale. De momento aquí no aparece Vale, creo que por aquí no hay que ir todavía. Vamos al bar. A ver qué nos cuentan los pollos estos. Mira el balandrito aquí fabricándose. Mira la taberna del Pirate's Life.
I don't think it's wise to wake a sleeping pirate. I don't think it's wise to wake a sleeping pirate.
Ahoy there, stranger. New in town?
My name's Guybrush Threepwood.
Creo que igual empezar a decirle barbaridades a la gente.
Guybrush Threepwood? That's the stupidest name I've ever heard.
I don't know, I kind of like Guybrush.
But it's not even a name.
Well, what's your name?
My name is Mancomb Seepgood. So, what brings you to Melee Island, anyway?
Voy a hacer una cosa, voy a cambiar la webcam porque creo que no se ve. O sea, se pierden cosas. Y no quiero. La verdad es que no sé muy bien dónde colocarlo. Creo que la dejaré por aquí. Incluso la voy a quitar. La voy a quitar, no tiene sentido ponerla. Quiero ser un pirate.
Oh, really? You should go talk to the important-looking pirates in the next room. They're pretty much in charge around here. They can tell you where to go and what to do.
Where can I find the governor?
Governor Marley. Her
A ver qué
mansion
dice.
is on the other side of town. But pirates aren't as welcome around her place as they used to be.
Why not?
¿Y por qué no?
Well, the last time she had a pirate over for dinner, he fell in love with her. It's made things rather uncomfortable for everybody.
How's that?
Well, there's a whole big story about what happened next, but I don't believe a word of it. Esteban over there at the other table might tell you about it. He takes the whole thing seriously. Very seriously. Uh-oh, looks like my grog is going flat, so you'll have to excuse me. Nice talking to you. Have fun on Melee Island.
A ver, en el otro... Mira el perrete con el hueso.
What are you looking at me for?
Hostia, tú, el...
I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Guybrush.
Yeah? So what?
Who's this pirate that's bugging the governor?
LeChuck. He's the guy that went to the governor's for dinner and never wanted to leave. He fell for her in a big way, but she told him to drop dead. So he did. and
What the
then
fuck?
Things really got ugly.
What's so scary about this LeChuck guy?
LeChuck was a fearsome pirate.
Mhm.
He tried to impress the governor by sailing off to find the secret of Monkey Island. But a mysterious storm came up and sank his ship, leaving no survivors. We thought that was the end of the fearsome pirate, LeChuck. We were wrong.
Hostia, vaya caras ponen notas,
What
colega.
happened then?
He still sails the waters between here and Monkey Island. His ghost ship is an unholy terror upon the sea. That is why we are all in here and not out pirating.
LeChuck no es el que... ¿Cómo se llama? No, creo que no es el pirata de la Tall Tale.
What happened to your eye?
Well, I was putting in my contact lens when Hey, wait a second. That is none of your business.
No le puedo conseguir un trago o buscando una diana.
Sorry to bother you. Bye.
Hola, Nina, buenos días.
I think they're busy.
What now?
No, no quiero hablar contigo.
Sorry to bother you. Bye.
Right.
Con este no puedo hablar. A ver si me deja hablar con el viejo.
Bye yourself.
Ahoy.
Hostia, este está...
Ahoy.
So, tell me about Loon.
You mean the latest masterpiece of fantasy storytelling from Lucasfilm's Brian Moriarty? Why, it's an extraordinary adventure with an interface of magic. Stunning, high-resolution 3D landscapes, sophisticated score,
What the
and
fuck?
musical effects, not to mention the detailed animation and special effects, elegant point-and-click control of characters, objects, and magic spells. Beat the rush! Go out and buy Loon today!
Ah, por toda la cara, ¿sabes?
Jeez, what an obvious sales pitch.
Sorry, but on some topics I just get carried away.
Nice talking to you.
Ahoy.
Pues estupendo. El Nodo nos ha hecho aquí todo el spoiler, toda la... ¿Qué tal, Nina? Al final me puse a construir el puesto de avanzada en Minecraft. ¿No te mola tampoco? Hostia puta.
Woof, LeChuck?
Hostia puta, qué movida, ¿no? Cuéntame más. Cuéntame más. Me queda exactamente igual.
Cozy.
Vale, creo que cuando salga este, igual en algún momento tenemos que entrar.
What be ye wanting, boy?
I want to be a fireman.
I'll get lost, boy. You bother us. What be ye wanting, boy?
A ver, no voy a deciros que voy a matar a todos porque igual me la quieren liar a mí. Bueno, igual sí, no sé, a ver. Vamos a probar.
Aim to kill you all.
I'll get lost, boy. You bother us.
Pues no.
What be ye wanting, boy?
Tiene que ser quiero
I
ser un
want to be a
pirata.
pirate.
So what? Why bother us? Hey, don't forget we're short on help because of this whole Chuck thing. So, no pirates means no swag, and no swag means no grog, and we're getting dangerously low on grog. Do you have any special skills?
I can hold my breath for 10 minutes.
Well, all right, but you don't become a pirate just by asking. You'll have to go through the 3 trials.
Joder,
What
tú.
3 trials are those?
There are 3 trials every pirate must pass.
You must master the sword
Ujú.
And the art of thievery.
Vale,
and the quest.
ok.
What?
Treasure hunting, you sea urchin. Right.
Ok.
You must prove yourself in each of these 3 areas. Swordplay, thievery, and treasure huntery. Then return with proof that you've done it.
And then you must drink grog with us. Grog!
Hostia puta. Me molaría. A ver qué dice el Grog.
What's in that grog stuff anyway?
Grog is a secret mixture which contains one or more of the following:
Kerosene,
propylene glycol, artificial sweeteners,
sulfuric acid,
rum, acetone,
red dye number 2,
cum, axle grease,
battery acid.
and or pepperoni. As you can probably imagine, it's one of the most caustic, volatile substances known to man.
The stuff eats right through these mugs, and the cook is losing a fortune replacing them.
Tell me more about mastering the sword.
First,
A ver qué dicen.
you must seek out and defeat the sword master. Someone in town can probably direct you. Oh, you want to find somebody to train you first.
Imagine trying to take on a sword master without any training.
Vale, o sea que tengo que buscar a un entrenador para cargarme a alguien.
Tell me more about mastering the art of thievery.
We want you to procure a small item for us.
The idol of many hands.
Ok,
The governor's mansion.
ok.
The governor keeps the idol of many hands in a display case in the mansion outside the town.
You'll have to get past the guards, naturally.
The tricky part will be getting past the dogs outside.
Aye, they're a particularly vicious breed. They might
Igual
be
con
able
eso habría que conseguir intentar quitarle el hueso al puñetero perro, pero vete tú a saber cómo cojones lo conseguimos.
Tell me more about treasure hunting.
Legend has it that there's a treasure buried here on the island.
All you must do is find the legendary lost treasure of Melee Island and bring it back here.
Should I have a map or something?
Well, you can hardly expect to find a treasure without a map.
And don't forget, X marks the spot.
You're a bunch of foul-smelling, grog-swilling pigs.
To be a pirate, you must also be a foul-smelling, grog-swilling pig.
Ok, vale, pues...
I'll just be running along now.
Leave us to our grog.
Come back
Pues si ya está todo hecho, pues vámonos. Vale, voy a ir a preguntarle al... ¿A este le podemos robar algo? No. Hablar con este. Hola, Yakai, buenos días.
Well, now,
Dime cómo consigo un trago de ron.
Where can I get a drink?
a drink? You could wait for the cook to notice you.
Puedes esperar que me fijes
It'll take all day. Just find a mug and sneak into the kitchen. That is what we all do.
Te ha parecido muy corto este juego.
Excuse me, but I'm looking for the dartboard.
Dartboard? We don't have one anymore. There was a horrible accident.
El ojo.
And darts don't mix. Look, this whole lechop thing has me pretty shaken up. So, if you don't mind,
Vale, a este le han pinchado con un dardo en el ojo. Vale, o sea que hay que hacerse con una jarra de alguien. Este no me va a dar una jarra.
Cozy. I don't see anything special about it.
Vale, ¿cómo puñ...
I think they're busy.
Hay que hacerse con una jarra. No veo dónde puedo... Bueno, voy a investigar un poco.
Meanwhile, deep beneath Monkey Island, the ghost pirate LeChuck ship lies anchored in a river of lava.
Vale, o sea que el echaque es Flameheart. Vale.
Captain LeChuck, sir.
There's nothing like the hot winds of hell blowing in your face.
No, sir. Nothing like it. Sir,
It's days like this that make you glad to be dead.
Oh, yes, sir. Glad to be dead.
You are glad to be dead, right?
Oh, yes, sir. I feel so lucky that you happened to capture my ship, then murdered me and everyone on board. Yes, sir. Lucky.
Glad to hear it. Now, what was it you disturbed me for?
Yes, sir. Well, you see, we might have a problem on Melee Island.
Problem? What possible problem could there be? I've got those
Hay un mapa ahí.
pirates so scared of the sea, they're afraid to take a bath.
Well, there seems to be a new pirate in town. Actually, he's a pirate wannabe. Young, inexperienced, probably nothing to worry about. Don't know why I bother you with it. I'll have him taken care of myself.
Wait! I'll handle this personally. My plans are too important to be messed up by amateurs.
Yes, sir.
El mapa ese con las 2X pinta importante seguramente. Bueno, vamos a seguir investigando. Necesitamos una jarra para ir a por el grog, porque seguramente necesitamos el grog para algo.
I don't see anything special about it.
Excuse me, but do you have a cousin named Sven?
No, but I once had a barber named Dominique.
Close enough. Let's talk business.
What? Uy, va, mi vieja.
Want to buy a map to the legendary lost treasure of Melee Island? Only one in existence. Rare. Very rare. Only 100 pieces of 8.
100 doblones, su vieja.
No thanks. I don't want it.
Not enough money, huh? Come back when you're serious about treasure hunting, kid.
No pasa nada, Rubén. No te preocupes. ¿Y este pollo qué puñetas es? Espérate. ¿Qué coño? ¿Te gusta más el Spiritual? Hombre, está más guay, seguramente.
Hey, nice rat.
Do you like rats?
Hostia puta.
Yes, I love rats.
They're very intelligent creatures.
What the fuck?
More intelligent than him. Why, there's a story around these parts that a bunch of rats actually crewed a ship here from fabled Monkey Island.
No, that's not right. It was actually a group of monkeys.
That's difficult to believe.
Yes, but it's true. When they arrived, they sold the ship for a pretty penny. Only time I've seen anyone get the better of old Stan in a deal.
I thought it was rats.
Do you guys know the sneaky-looking man on the opposite corner?
Wanna buy a map, eh? Our maps are top quality, not like the bird-caged liners you get from that clown across the street.
Vale, o sea que estos son todos una panda de ladrones de 3 pares de cojones.
These are actually copies of the minutes of the last meeting of the Melee Island PTA. Can't even give them away.
Hostia.
Want one?
No, but I'll take one if you give me 2 pieces of 8.
Okay, that's fair.
Say, are you guys pirates?
No, we're a wandering circus troupe.
But this rat scared away the elephant.
Joder, no veas, este está todo enganchado con las ratas, loco.
Of course we're pirates. You can't buy clothes like these off the rack.
What do you want?
How come you're on this street corner and not on a ship? Looting, pillaging, sacking, that sort of thing.
Well, pirating hasn't been panning out so well for us.
There are some unnaturally talented pirates in the area right now.
Operating out of Monkey Island.
So we've been pursuing alternate means of self-support. We're trying to start up a circus.
It was working out well, until the rats scared off the elephant. Now you've depressed us. Go home.
Joder, tío, pues menudos lameculos. A ver qué puedo hacer si entro por ahí. Hostia, la orden de las almas, tío, qué bueno.
Gee, I wonder what's in these baskets. Let's see, there's a jar of bat drippings, a box that says assorted scales, a shaker full of monkey flakes,
Ya hay copos de
and some
manos.
cat knuckles. Cat knuckles? How barbaric!
¿Qué cojones? Ah. Seguro que esto lo podemos coger.
A rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle. What possible use could that have?
No sé, pero yo te lo.
A rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle. Now this is the cup of a carpenter.
What may I help you with, son? Wait, don't say anything. I can sense your name is Guybrush. Guybrush nose hair. No. Threepwood. Guybrush Threepwood. Am I not right?
Wow, that was amazing! Do you know any other tricks?
I do not deal in tricks. What I know is the truth. So, my mind-reading skills tell me it is your future you are interested in. Are you certain this is something you really wish to know?
No, don't tell me a thing. Life should be unexpected and exciting.
Suit yourself. Changed your mind, I see. I am getting a vision.
Hostias, tú las
I see
drogas.
you taking a voyage, a long voyage. I see you captaining a ship.
Yeah!
I see.
What? See what?
I see a giant monkey.
Yikes!
I see you inside the giant monkey.
Gross.
Wait. It's all becoming clear. Your journey will have many parts. You will see things better left unseen. You will hear things better left unheard. You will learn things better left unlearned.
What kind of things? I hate surprises.
No. The time is not right to know. When you know your purpose, come see me. I will let you know then.
Me gusta mucho la psicodelia esta rara. Uy, va.
Yikes.
No, pero... Pero ¿cómo le voy a...?
Hello? Guess no one's here.
Vale. A ver si me deja coger el...
Now this is the cup of a carpenter. A rubber chicken.
No. Controles. Vale, no sé qué. Primero por defecto. P, agarrar. S, empujar y tirar.
With a pulley in the middle. What possible use could that have? No thanks. I can never fall asleep in strange places. No thanks. I'd rather not touch any of this creepy voodoo stuff.
Hombre, en principio debería de...
Maybe no one will miss just this one thing.
No, no quiero hablar...
Guess I'll just be going now. Poor little thing. Whatever it was. No thanks. I'd rather not touch any of this creepy voodoo stuff. No thanks. I'd rather not touch any of this creepy voodoo stuff.
Aquí parece que no... Que no hay más. A ver. Por aquí entramos y hemos ido por allí. No.
Ye old rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle shop. Serving your rubber chicken with the pulley in the middle needs for over 50 years.
No me deja tocar esto. Ah, sí,
Hey, don't mess with my rat.
I can't pick that up. I don't see anything special about it. 10 o'clock.
El reloj no se mueve, tú. Eso sí, no sé si significará algo, pero... No, a la tienda del vudú no. No está la... Algo pasa aquí porque...
Guess I'll just be going now.
Maldita sea. Vale, a ver dónde puedo puñetas yo conseguir. Porque si entro por aquí salgo por este otro lado. A este no lo puedo... A ver. ¿Y si vamos hacia el arco?
Hey, you! Come over here.
Ah, el nota es este. Vale, creo que aquí voy a poder coger bastantes cosas.
Digmaster, the only shovel for serious treasure hunting enthusiasts.
Vale, pues esto me lo voy a hacer la picadita.
Davy Jones Lockers, the last word in theft, fire, and grog-resistant storage devices. It's locked.
Vale, creo que... No.
Slashmaster, when you want a sword as sharp as your wit.
It never fails. I step away from the counter for 2 seconds and some idiot's already ringing that stupid bell. What do you want?
About this sword.
Yeah, what about it?
I want it.
That's 100 pieces of 8. Take it or leave it.
I don't want it.
Figures. Now, how else do you want to waste my time?
¡Ah, mierda! Oh, creo que he cogido el... Ah, fuck the police.
About this shovel.
Yeah, what about it?
I want it.
Oh, another would-be treasure hunter, eh? That'll cost you 75 pieces of 8.
I don't want it.
Then you better go put it back.
Ah, soy gilipollas. Creo que la ha cagado. No tiene que haber tocado la campana, me la tiene que haber llevado toda.
There's
Fuck.
something here that maybe you can't afford.
No.
I'm looking for the Swordmaster of Melee Island.
The Swordmaster of Melee Island? Now, I don't know. See, nobody knows the whereabouts of her secret hideout. Nobody except me. I'd have to go and ask her if it's okay to show you the way. I guess I could hike all the way over there. Once. Be right back. And don't touch anything!
No, no te preocupes que no te voy a robar. Para nada. Yo pensaba que lo que estaba mirando era el puñetero barco, tío.
Oh, I should have known it'd be you again.
Llevo una espada como
The
bastón.
Swordmaster says you can jump in the lake, by the way. What do you want?
I'm looking for the Swordmaster of Melee Island.
Look, I told you she doesn't want to see you.
Maybe if you asked her again?
I guess I could hike all the way over there. Again. Be right back.
Vale, voy a seguir.
And don't touch anything!
Que no, no.
Looking for a Swordmaster, are ya? Looking for a little thigh-finger discount, it looks like to me. See if I ever trust you again, devious little shoplifting weasel boy!
Ay Dios, que me muero.
Maybe you'd like to pay for those.
No.
I think I'd just like to browse.
Whatever. Maybe you'd like to pay for those.
Joder.
I'm looking for the Swordmaster of Melee Island.
Yeah, like
No le voy a poder robar al notas este, tío.
Oh, please. I won't steal anything this time, I promise.
I guess I could hike all the way over there. Again.
Venga, hombre, sal. Sal de aquí. Y dejarme irme con tu pala y con tu espada.
I've got my eyes on you, Weasel Boy. Don't try anything.
No intentaremos... Vamos, nothing.
I can't believe I almost fell for that again. Okay, cough up the dough.
No voy a sacar la basta.
I'm looking for the sword master of Melee Island.
I'll be right back. Wait a second. You sneaky, light-fingered little weasel.
You don't think I'm stupid enough to try the same trick 3 times in a row, do you?
I guess I could hike all the way over there. Again. Be right back.
Esto está cargadísimo.
I can't believe I'm doing this again.
Vale, por aquí no... O sea, que tengo que ir a la puerta. Es que necesito salir.
It's not that expensive. Why don't you just buy it?
¿Cómo que no, cabrón? 200 monedas. ¿Me las das tú?
Okay, cough up the dough.
I'm looking for the sword master of Melee Island.
You are really starting to tick me off. Be right back. I expect to be back in about 5 seconds.
Igual hay que forzarle, tío, que... Y la puerta de arriba. La puerta de arriba es una caja fuerte. No se puede abrir. Pero... A ver. ¿Y si me voy aquí? A ver si pasa... Pasará de los palos esto. No parece.
That doesn't seem to work.
También te digo.
There sure are a lot of spelling errors. Slashmaster. When you want a sword as sharp as your wit.
Tengo una puta espada. Le puedo desgraciar al no das ese.
Aha! Caught you again, you little rat. Don't you ever learn? Okay, cough up the dough.
I'm looking for the sword master of Melee Island.
You are really starting to tick me off. Be right back. I expect to be back in about 5 seconds.
A ver.
Slashmaster. When you want a sword as sharp as your wit. That doesn't seem to work.
You're hoping I'll have a heart attack with all this
No, pero...
talking, is that it? Ha! Okay, cough up the dough.
Hay un momento en que creo que... A ver si le puedo
I'm
hacer.
looking for the sword master of Melee Island.
Pero el mostrador no tiene nada que ver. Bueno, voy a probar. Tampoco pierdo nada.
Me off. Be right back. And don't touch. I'm tired of this crap.
Porque no puedes agarrar campanilla, ¿no?
I can't pick that up.
No.
Ring bell for service.
Abrir la puerta. No puedo coger la botella. A ver cómo coño salgo yo de aquí con la espada y con la pala, tío. Es que igual tengo que comprarla, quiero decir. No, creo que esto me ha dicho que estaba cerrado. Hay una estantería con una escalera.
Davy Jones Lockers. The last word in theft, fire, and grog-resistant storage devices.
A ver, él tiene 4 posiciones. Estoy viendo que tiene 4 posiciones. Vale.
Davy Jones Lockers. The last word in theft, fire, and grog-resistant storage devices.
Usar manija. Vale, en principio.
It doesn't seem to open.
Pero ¿y por qué no? Creo que no hay... Que esta escalera no vale para nada. Igual no me puedo llevar todavía la espada. Y la... Apagar, no, apagar no. Me paso uno solo del sí o cis aquí, ¿sabes? Pues me va a tocar dejar la puta pala y volver cuando... O bien tenga pasta o bien pueda robársela.
Aha! Caught you again, you little rat. Don't you ever learn?
Desde luego no me voy a ir con la pala y con la...
Cough up the dough.
Con la pala y con la espada no me voy a ir.
About this sword.
Está más que clariner.
I want it.
I already told you it's 100 pieces of 8. Did you bring enough money this time?
Pues no.
I don't have enough money.
Figures. Now, how else do you want to waste my time?
About this shovel.
Voy a preguntarle sobre la piba. No la quiero.
I don't want it.
Then you better go put it back.
Le voy a decir que me mande, que se pire. Y como no tengo nada encima, se supone que me debería de dejar salir. Y al no llevar nada encima, no debería de tener ningún problema.
There's something here that maybe you can't afford.
Qué pesado en notas.
I'm looking for the Swordmaster of Melee Island.
You are really starting to tick me off. Be right back.
Claro, pues ahora no tengo nada. Se supone que no tengo por qué.
And don't touch. I'm tired of this crap. Hey, you! Come over here.
Ah, aquí está el circo donde donde notas de la rata. A ver qué nos encontramos aquí, tú.
I get in the cannon, but the gunpowder makes me sneeze.
Well, I can't do it. I hurt my hand taming the lions last week.
I hardly think that little scratch compares to my chronic allergy. You get in the cannon.
You don't have any allergies, you faker. You get in the cannon.
No, you get in the cannon.
No, you get in the cannon.
Slacker,
Loser.
ruffian,
Fop.
weasel,
Weevil.
miscreant. Say there, son, how'd you like the chance
A once-in-a-lifetime chance.
to perform an amazing feat?
A death-defying feat.
Well, not so death-defying, really.
Dangerous feat.
No, not dangerous at all,
An easy feat.
but exciting,
With the amazing
adventurous, acrobatic,
and exceedingly well-known
fabulous, flying.
Ferrucini brothers.
That's us,
My brother Alfredo.
and my brother Bill.
Sound good?
Good.
It's very simple, really.
See that cannon over there? All you have to do,
Is get in the cannon,
and we'll shoot you out of it.
across the room.
Quite safe, actually.
So, what do you say?
How much will you pay me?
How about 478 pieces of 8?
Vale.
Okay, sounds good.
Have you got a helmet?
Of course I have a helmet. What sort of idiot do you take me for?
Well, let's have it.
We want to be sure.
That it's safe.
Wouldn't want you hurt.
No, sorry.
Vale, creo que aquí... Tenía que haber hablado con él. Quizás tenía que haber hablado con el pollo este.
What's green and hairy and has 1,000 legs?
Yikes! Oh, you almost scared me to death. I thought you were a... Oh, never mind. What did you say your name was again?
Call me Squinky.
Okay, Squinky.
I'll just be off to seek my fortune now.
Good luck.
¿Dónde se ha metido el viejo, tío? Porque ha subido por aquí, pero luego del acantilado. Joder, me va a tocar perseguirle otra vez, como un retrasado. Ah, vale, que me parió. El puto reloj suena, pero no se mueve la hora, tío. What the fuck.
Hello? Anybody in here? Hello?
You know, bad things could happen to a person in a dark, deserted alley like this one. And at this time of night, nobody would be around to see it.
Yeah, and bad things happen to people who sneak up on other people from behind.
So, you're gonna give me a little attitude, huh? I'd better get your name.
I'm Guybrush Threepwood, and I'm a mighty pirate.
Listen, Peepwood.
People.
Threepwood. Guybrush Threepwood.
Well, whatever your name is, listen. I'm the sheriff around here. Sheriff Fester Shinetop. Take it from me. This is a bad time to be visiting Melee Island. A very bad time. My advice to you is to find somewhere else to take your vacation. Somewhere safer.
Boy, I feel much better knowing there's an officer of the law around. Employees only. Oh, a circus! I love a circus.
Vale, ¿qué puedo utilizar de gorro para que me den los 480 pavos los fulanos esos, tío? Coño. Pues no me interesa ir a misa ahora, la verdad. Y esto supongo que será la cárcel o algo así. Efectivamente. LOL. Una rata, tío.
It's locked. It's locked. It's locked.
You gotta get me out of here! I'm a victim of society!
Not to mention halitosis.
LOL.
Ugh. Hey, it's hard to keep my breath minty fresh when there's nothing to eat in here but rats.
¿Qué pasa, Lau? Yo lo estoy jugando por primera vez, la verdad. Y estoy un poco bastante perdido. Porque, a ver, a mí las aventuras gráficas y demás nunca se me han dado excesivamente bien. Vale, imagino que esto es la casa de la gobernadora. Vale. O sea, sí que lo conozco, ¿sabes? Sé qué juego es. No. Pero no lo he jugado. Y he dicho, pues mira. O sea, conocerlo, joder, si no conoces el puñetero Monkey Island, no sé, tío.
Hey, where'd you go? I hike halfway across the island to try and get you a reservation with the Swordmaster, who, by the way, says you can go jump in the lake. And when I come back, whew, you're gone. See if I ever do you a favor again, ungrateful little shoplifter.
Vamos a ver, viejo borracho. Hola, Saku.
What do you want?
Quiero que me lleves con la
I'm
piba.
looking for the
No.
Swordmaster of Monkey
Mierda.
Island.
No. No.
You are really starting to tick me off. Be right back. And don't touch. I'm tired of this crap.
Buenos días, Saku, ¿qué tal? Vente, corre. A ver si consigo esta vez no perder al Notas, porque es que no sé dónde se va. O sea, cuando llego al mirador, o al acantilado, mejor dicho, el fulano ya no está. ¿Ves? Aquí ha desaparecido el hijo de una hiena. A la bifurcación. Con sueño, pero bien. Ah, vale. Las flores esas amarillas, ojito. Joder, chaval, vaya mareo me está pegando el colgado este, tú. Claro, porque soy extremadamente retrasado.
I better just stay back here and eavesdrop.
Hello again, Carla.
I thought I told you to get lost.
Actually, I'm here on business. This kid come into my store, see?
Face it, you crusty old lech. You'd make any excuse just to come out here and bother me.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, cut it out. I'm sick of it. Take a hike and don't come out here again. Someone might follow you, and then I'd become another Melee Island tourist attraction.
Hey, it's your loss, baby.
Yeah, right. Now scram.
Pues yo lo que acaban de decir cuando no estoy muy claro. No tengo muy claro de cómo conseguirlo, la verdad, mira.
How dare you approach the Swordmaster without permission, which I surely didn't give you.
I beg your pardon. I must talk to you.
I doubt that. Everyone who comes here is prepared to fight. Let's be honest. You're here to prove yourself to the pirate leaders in hopes of one day being as immoral as they are.
Yep. Nailed it right on the head. Gee, you're smart.
But as you have no sword, I doubt you're really serious.
Y te dejan ahí todo tirado. Vale, o sea que me he ido a chingar la espada al fulano este como coño sea. Vale, pues hay que volverse. Hay que volverse y coger las flores.
Whatever you want, you scurvy lubber.
Nice night we're having, isn't it?
¿Y esto tan gratuito?
I sure hopes you had something more important to stop me for.
Why do you guys talk so funny?
Pirate lingo. It's how everybody talked back then. Come on, Guybrush, play along.
Sorry to bother you. I'll be on my way.
Vaya unos hippies. Vale, y si ahora voy a hablar con el colgado este. A ver si me vende... A ver si me vende una pastilla de esa de menta para el de la cárcel. Y le puedo sacar algo al de la cárcel.
Hey, where'd you go? I hike halfway.
Que no me cuente esto,
a
cuidado.
reservation with the Swordmaster, who, by the way, says you can go jump in the lake. And when I come back, whew, you're gone. See if I ever do you a favor again, ungrateful little shoplifter. What do you want?
I could really use a breath mint.
Whew, you're telling me. Here, take one. Please. Take the whole roll. That'll be 1 piece of 8.
Menudo hijo de puta.
What else do you want?
I think I'd just like to browse.
¿Me la ha dado y me ha cobrado el bastardo?
Whatever.
Pues esto es... Hijo de... Que sí, que me ha quitado el dinero. El saco de mierda. What the fuck? Hijo de puta. Pues esto es de Monkey Island.
Talk to Death Breath? No thanks. Talk to Death Breath? No thanks.
No.
Oh, Grago mint. How refreshing. Thanks. So, have you come to release me?
Who are you?
My name is Otis. At least I think it is. I've been in here so long I can hardly remember.
Lol.
You gotta get me out of here before I lose my mind completely. Can't you see? I'm innocent.
But why are you in jail if you're innocent?
I was framed. I didn't touch the stupid flowers.
Vale.
What flowers?
The yellow Konish Indormi flowers in the forest. It's against the law to pick them.
Sheriff Shinetop sure is a jerk, isn't he?
No kidding. Fester Shinetop is the meanest man on Melee Island. Luckily, the governor keeps him in check most of the time. We used to have a fair, decent man for a sheriff, but he recently died under mysterious circumstances. If you ask me, I think the new sheriff had something to do with it.
I think you've said enough, Otis.
Whoops.
I hope you haven't been taking this filthy vagrant too seriously. He'd say anything to avoid paying his debt to society.
Yeah, he is filthy, and he smells bad too.
Hey, thanks a lot.
You've got a lot of nerve coming into this town and passing judgment on the locals. If there's something you don't like about the way we smell, you're welcome to leave anytime.
Vale, las que no se pueden coger son las
I
amarillas.
don't know what you're up to. But whatever it is, it's probably illegal. So forget it. Wherever you go on Melee, I'll be watching. And if you try any monkey business, you'll end up in here for good.
Pues ok, bro.
Man, is he a pill or what? You see what I have to put up with? You better go before you get us both in trouble. Come to interrogate the prisoner again, huh?
Sí.
So, how's the food in there?
Oh, you know, the usual. Slop, grog, gruel, rats, bugs, and body lice if I can catch them. I have a carrot cake my Aunt Tilly made, even though she knows I detest carrot cake. Actually, the cook at the bar is an old friend of mine, and sometimes he sneaks me food, like pork
Hola,
trimmings,
Riku.
mostly feet and lips. But once in a while, he brings this really odd rump roast.
Mmm.
What was so odd about the rump roast?
Well, it's the only rump roast I ever seen with a prehensile tail.
So who'd want to frame you?
I don't know who exactly. I think it was a conspiracy. And if there's one type of piracy I don't like, it's conspiracy. Look, I like visitors and everything, but I don't have much more to say. Plus, my throat's getting dry from all this talking. Why don't you go find someone else to talk to? It's not like I'm the only pirate left on the island or anything.
Joder, que nota más desagradable, tío. Pues que te den por culo, podré... Vamos, porque tendré que sacar seguramente de la puta cárcel de Gracia, pero vamos. Voy a ir a coger las plantas rojas, yo que sé por qué. Porque aquí creo que no puedo entrar, ¿no? Esto es lo de la tienda esta de los...
Serving your rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle needs for over 50 years.
Porque las puertas estas van dando tumbos. Esta puerta creo que no hacía nada. Las puertas no sé está muy bien hasta qué punto son. O sea, quiere decir, no sé por qué funcionan así. Y no sé si tienen que. Si es algo. Por aquí no hay nada. No. Vamos hacia el arco. No, no podemos ir hacia los barcos. Vale. Vamos a la bifurcación. Vale, estas son las que no se pueden coger.
Same old red flowers all over the forest. I don't think strolling through the forest picking flowers is very good practice for being a pirate.
No sé por qué me da la sensación de que me he perdido. Las amarillas dicen que no se puede coger porque es ilegal. Vale. Fuck. Sí, me he perdido. ¿Era por aquí? Vamos a ver. Confío en que en alguna combinación de caminos. Aquí no me deja ir a hacer. Vale, bueno. No me cuadra esto, tío. What the heck? Estoy más perdido que... Hay que ir hacia adelante. En estos casos hay que ir hacia adelante siempre. Pues... A ver. ¿Y qué hago si quiero?
can't pick that up.
Deberías buscar un mapa del tesoro. Ajá, entiendo, cuéntame más. Espera.
There sure are a lot of spelling errors.
No, espera, voy a ir por ahí. ¿Qué puede salir mal? Por aquí no puedo moverme, con lo cual no hay tronco. No tiene sentido. Quiero decir. Vale. Aquí solo puedo ir hacia allí. Vale. Si voy a la derecha. Vale. Vale, aquí estoy. Vale. Lo cual es por aquí. Hablar no, obviamente.
Just a regular old stump.
No puede ser. El PvP está donde tú quieras que esté. Ahora mismo. El PvP eres tú mismo. No, o sea, no puede ser que estas dos zonas te lleven al mismo sitio. O sea, no tiene lógica. Buah, chaval, estoy más perdido que un hijo puta el día de la madre, tú. Ay. El PvP es ahora mismo. ¿Para qué quieres PvP si tu peor enemigo eres tú? ¿Y si me meto por este otro? Y si... Vale. No puedo, ok. Si consigo salir de aquí... No puedo... espera, what the fuck. Ah, no, vale, no es el mismo sitio. Ah, pues está bonito el bosque. Espera.
Creepy.
Creo que ya lo entiendo, vale, sí. Seguramente no salgamos... Estamos muertos, chicos. Tienes que jugar con los puntos de vista de la cámara. ¿A qué te refieres con eso? Vale, con el rollo de la luna y eso. Es que la putada es que no hay constelaciones. O no entiendo yo estas constelaciones. Como si fueran la Osa Mayor y ese rollo. Vale. Vale. Sí, 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 te pillo, te pillo. Hostia, tú, llega a un sitio peor al inframundo, tú.
The legendary lost treasure of Melee Island. This carefully reproduced piece of Melee Island history has delighted thousands of would-be pirates and their families for generations. Remember, there are other pirates on this island. So go easy on the treasure. Leave some for the next person.
Bueno, pues llega a un
Here
sitio.
lies treasure of such unimaginable wealth. Well, you'll just have to dig it up to believe it. Paid for by the Melee Island Chamber of Commerce. Looks like a big plus sign. What could that possibly mean?
Un símbolo matemático. Pero lo de la luna del oeste. Claro. Sí, tiene cierta lógica. Bueno. Sea como fuere. Ah, lo bueno es que aquí ya podemos venir directamente.
Stopping a pirate can be dangerous to your health.
Nice night we're having, isn't it?
I sure hoped you had something more important to stop me for.
Sorry to bother you. I'll be on my way.
¿Cómo le puedo sacarla? ¿Dónde puedo conseguir el casco? Voy a ver, porque en estos sitios la verdad es que no estoy yendo, porque creo que no sé si debo ir ahora o no debo ir ahora. Entonces estoy yendo un poco... Pero el pueblo parece que lo puedo hacer mucho más. Qué fumada de juego. Ah, vale, aquí tengo que usar el pollo este.
A rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle. What possible use could that have?
Hostias.
Hey! I don't like visitors. Who are you?
Excuse me, but the sign said there were restrooms in here?
Sorry, but that sign's a little out of date. I used to have a thriving tourist business here. I had animal wax, tattoo demonstrations, souvenirs. But there was a little accident with one of the trained animals. One of our guests was hurt very badly. So I was shut down, put out of business, and since then, I've lived here
¿Qué pasa, Pirex?
alone. And the only company I have is the same beast that mauled that unlucky tourist. The same beast that made me a hermit.
Seguro que es una mierda.
That, just by coincidence, is identical to one what attacked me when I was just a child and left me with these hooks instead of hands. A deformed man. Jeez, now I'm all depressed. Thanks a lot. Can't you just leave me alone now?
I'm Bobbin Threadbare. Are you my mother?
No, your mother was a duck. Now beat it.
I'm a pirate, Cannonball Head. Who are you?
My name's Meat Hook, and I think you've got a little attitude problem.
Well, I think you've got a little hair problem.
Jeez, you just don't know when to quit, do you?
Obviously, neither did your barber.
Why, you...
Ay, Dios, tú, que me curran. ¿Qué pasa, Pires? Estoy jugando al Monkey Island, tío. Lo tenía por... Me lo pillé y tal. Y aquí estoy.
You've come to invade my peaceful home and insult me again, eh?
Aquí hay una que está, pero no... No parece que... No, creo que me voy a pirar
Oops,
por...
I just realized that this is the wrong house.
Bueno, no está mal. A ver, ha habido un momento aquí de totalmente muerte que digo, todavía me capan en el juego, pero sí, mola, joder, los Monkey Island molan. Lo que pasa que son, pues eso, de pensar y de... Vamos, más que de pensar, de aprender cómo... Son aventuras gráficas. Entonces está guay.
Wow, it works both ways. That's some chicken.
Vale, parece que aquí no tenemos mucho que hacer. O de momento no sabemos qué hacer aquí. Con lo cual vamos a ir a la casa esta. A ver qué vaina. Tenemos que conseguir enchufarle la... Quitarle la... ¡Eh! Ahí va el troll del... Un troll loco.
Stop! You must pay a toll.
Look behind you, a mouse.
I'm not falling for that. Scuttle along, you scurvy sea slug. You can't pass until you pay the toll.
How much is the toll?
Well, what have you got?
Nothing of consequence.
I want something that'll attract attention, but have no real importance.
My old moss-covered three-handled family credenza?
Don't be silly. You have 3 chances to give me what I want. Then I eat ya.
¿Te imaginas?
You can't pass until you pay the toll.
Stand aside, troll. I'm a mighty pirate.
You're no pirate. While the town drunk could out insult you on his back.
What the fuck?
Probably would.
No le voy a dar la pasta ni de broma.
I can out-insult anybody, you brainless clay doppelganger.
I once owned a dog that was smarter than you. Take that and stick it in your repertoire. You can't pass until you pay the toll.
Oh, sorry. I'll take the long way around.
Ha! You can't pass until you pay the toll.
How much did you say the toll was?
I want something that'll attract attention, but have no real importance.
None shall pass. None shall pass.
Bueno, que sí, todo de los cojones. Te turras en notas, ¿eh? A ver qué puedo conseguir como casco para el pollo este, tío. No le voy a dar el puto pollo porque el pollo me sirve para ir a la tienda a donde el hook ese. Que igual hay que ir. Y sin el pollo...
Do you ever wonder if we're all just characters in a novel?
Yikes! Oh, it's you again, Threetwink.
Este es un borracho.
Who were you?
Que no le voy a dar el puto oro al del doblón al puto troll.
Watch the ocean for approaching storms and ships and report them directly to the governor. She doesn't like unexpected visitors, especially not now.
How did you get to be the lookout when you're obviously blind as a bat?
Watch your tongue. I was handpicked by Sheriff Shinetop.
Hostia, el...
Why is the governor worried about unexpected visitors?
Actually, it's the expected visitors we're worried about. One pirate captain in particular. A dead one, but that doesn't make him any less dangerous.
I'm over here.
Huh? Oh,
I'll just be off to seek my fortune now.
good luck.
Tengo que seguir el puto gorro para... El casco, tío. Algo como un casco para... Ah, ya sé lo que voy a hacer. Voy a entrar en la taberna y en cuanto salga el pollo de la cocina, entro yo. Y le intento chingar algo. A ver, entra en el sucio bar este.
Hey, you can't come back here.
Lol.
Hey, don't go into the kitchen.
Fuck, soy gilipollas. Nah, esto está scripteado para que salga cada X tiempo, así que voy a esperar aquí. Y en cuanto salga por la puerta que ya me meto. De hecho, me voy a hacer el de Sema.
Cozy. It's some sort of meat or meat-like substance. It's boiling hot. I can't pick that up.
Yes, ahí tengo ya la... No.
I think that bird'll peck my hand off.
Pues mandar a la mierda el pájaro, joder.
I think it's full of that foul stuff pirates drink. It's boiling hot.
Y si agarro esto, no.
I don't see anything special about it.
Bueno, de momento me voy a pirar porque el... Porque creo que ya tengo el gorro para... Para el... Frena, frena. Ya voy teniendo el gorrito para... Para la... Para el circo, así que... Bueno, haría que pudieras coger la olla y le dieras una hostia al troll en toda la cara. ¿Por qué? Porque con los 478 doblones de los pollos locos estos, pues podría comprarme la espada, la pala y los dos...
Weevil. Miscreant. Tony.
Ne'er-do-well.
I'm selling these
Hello again.
Ready to do the cannon trick?
Have you got a helmet?
Of course I have a helmet. What sort of idiot do you take me for?
Well, let's have it.
We want to be sure.
That it's safe.
Wouldn't want you hurt.
No, siree. Ah, that will work as a helmet.
Now we can do the trick.
Step right over here, son.
Payanos fumados los italianos.
Put on your helmet,
And get in the cannon.
and we'll take care of the rest.
Echo!
Pollas, tío, chaval.
It works!
Oh, I'm so relieved.
Hey,
Are you okay?
Where's my helmet?
he's all right.
Hooray! We are spared an embarrassing and financially debilitating lawsuit.
Here is your money, sir.
Just a recompense for aiding us.
The basic theory is fine.
We just need to change the aim a bit.
I'll try it next.
No, I'll do it next.
No, me.
Bueno, ahora se van a pegar por quién coño lo hacen. Vaya par de retrasados, tío.
Loser.
Ruffian.
Fop.
Bueno, a mí me ha soltado la panoja. 479 dólares. Y no tenía que haber gastado la puta mierda de los caramelos de venta, pero bueno, yo creo que sí.
Those crazy spaghetti brothers are still in there. Those crazy spaghetti
Vale,
brothers.
aquella de Mona. Nada más que hacer, vale. Ok. Lo entendí, juego. Pa, para, pa, 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 pam. No, al que voy a visitar es al tontopolla de la espada.
Excuse me, but oh, it's only you again. Come back for the map to the legendary lost treasure of Melee Island, huh? I hope you brought enough money this time.
También te digo que lo puedo encontrar yo a pelo. ¿Qué coño? Que te den por el santo
No,
culo.
thanks. I don't want it.
Muérase,
señor.
Not enough money, huh?
Tengo el dinero para enterrarte, bastardo. Pero me lo saco yo solo, chaval. Si he sido capaz de sacarlo, estando 5 minutos dando vueltas por el mapa, puedo sacármelo de sobra otra vez. Me voy a comprar la espada y la pala porque el tontonotas este... Que sí, pesado. A que te sacudo yo en tonto los cojones. Quiero tu puta espada.
I'm looking for the sword master of Melee Island.
You are really starting to tick me off. Be right back.
Hay una cosa que no...
Don't touch.
Hay una cosa que no termino de entender. ¿Por qué me obliga a robarle? Si no voy a poder salir con la espada y con la... O sea, si no voy a poder robar la espada y la pala, ¿por qué me obliga a robársela? No entiendo nada, tío.
Just keeps getting funnier and funnier, doesn't it? Okay, cough up the dough.
About this sword.
Yeah, what about it?
I want it.
Great. Best 100 pieces of 8 you ever spent. What else do you want?
About this shovel.
Yeah, what about it?
I want it.
Great. Oh, it'll pay for itself, believe me. Yeah, you'll dig up 75 pieces of 8 in no time. But hey, save some treasure for the rest of us, would you? What else do you want?
Nada, pedazo de bastardo.
I think I'd just like to browse.
Whatever. Don't you be messing with that.
Vale, esto sí que lo puedo... Esto sí que...
Hurry up. I don't have all day.
Vale, sí, para hacer la mierda esta de la manivela sí que tengo que estar con él. Tiene que estar el tío fuera. Vale, vale.
I'll just be running along now.
Pues adiós. Sois unos exploiters, tío. A ver. Joder, llevamos 2 horas jugando a esto, tú. Decimos del Sea of Thieves, pero este también es un... Es un consumidor bastante interesante, en verdad. A ver, espera. No, teniendo en cuenta que dices que es una mierda, pues hombre, teniendo en cuenta eso. Bueno, pues se vienen otros 5 minutos de estar dando vueltas sin ningún tipo de sentido. Vale, esta es la... A la casa de la espada, con lo cual... No... Bueno, sí, espera. ¿Qué cojones? Ya que estamos aquí, vamos a aprovechar el bug, ¿no? Hombre, a ver, es que esto es una puta aventura gráfica, ¿sabes? Si no... Si no tiene historia, F.
How dare you approach the swordmaster with... Oh, it's you again.
Hi, I'm selling these fine leather jackets.
Do you have one in size 3?
What?
Of course you don't. Because you're not really a jacket salesman. Let's be honest. You're here to prove yourself to the pirate leaders in hopes of one day being as immoral as they are.
Yep. Nailed it right on the head. Gee, you're smart.
What was your final grade in Captain Smirk's sword fighting class?
Grade? Class?
You mean you came here to take on the Swordmaster of Melee Island, possibly the greatest sword fighter in the entire Caribbean, without a single lesson in the art of fencing?
Yep.
Yep.
How did you expect to defend yourself?
Sí. Ese soy yo.
I don't know.
I see. Obviously not with your razor-sharp wit. I'd advise you to seek out Captain Smirk's and get some real training. It would hardly be ethical, sporting, or even interesting to fight someone as unskilled as yourself. So beat it.
Jo, tío. ¿Y ahora dónde coño encuentro yo al capitán este de los cojones? No, porque este es el tal Hook.
Move out of the way, or I cuts me way through.
Ever notice how all these roads start to look the same?
Yeah, now that you mention it, they do. It's probably just that we're tired.
Sorry to bother you. I'll be on my way.
Joder, están drogadísimos los pollos estos. Vale, ¿es aquí o aquí, no? Vale, pues... Vale, ahora estaríamos girando a la izquierda o seguimos de frente. Ya. Lo que pasa es que ahora no me acuerdo si tenía que girar a la izquierda o seguir de frente. Vale, aquí estoy girando izquierda. Giro izquierda, sigo de frente. Aquí estaría girando a la derecha. Vale, a la derecha sigo de frente. Aquí tengo que girar obligatoriamente a la derecha. No. Giro a la izquierda. Vale, si giro a la izquierda tengo derecha e izquierda. Voy a elegir derecha, a ver. Vale. A la derecha. Ahora estoy girando izquierda. No. Vengo de frente, giro ahora hoy día por la derecha. Ahora estoy girando otra vez a la derecha. No, puñetas. No. Sí, Duster, sí, podemos montar rally, sí. A ver, podría hacerlo con un mapa, sería más fácil, seguramente. Sí, lo sé, pero... Aquí ya estoy dando vuelta. Aquí ya estoy dando vueltas. Porque aquí giro a la izquierda y sigo para la casa.
Ahoy.
Hola Stark, ¿qué tal? Sí, 4 y media supongo, no sé. Creo que era por aquí, tío. Sí, es esta mi primera vez. No hace falta que me escribas en inglés. Soy español. Are you English? Ah, okay. Don't worry. Ah, you're from Italy. Es que si me voy aquí a la izquierda, me voy a la casa de la tipa. O sea, voy al sendero de la... ¿Ves? I can't do it. Look. I tried to pick up, but... Ah, what? What the fuck? Ah, pues... Pensaba que no las podía coger porque era ilegal. Quiero decir... Ah, okay, Star, don't worry, but I tried to explore it. Por la espada, puede ser. Pues espérate, voy a intentar pillar las rojas. A ver.
I don't think strolling through the forest picking flowers is very good practice for being a pirate.
Vale, o sea que las rojas no las coge, pero las amarillas sí. Que no tiene sentido que las amarillas sí las coja porque dice que son ilegales. A menos que sirva para incriminar algo. Vale, esta es la casa de la tipa. Vale, con lo cual para acá no hay que ir. Me va a tocar comprarme el puñetero mapa, tío. Porque no me acuerdo de cómo cojones he ido a...
Whatever you wantin', you scurvy lubber.
Ay, Dios mío.
Sorry to bother you. I'll be on my way.
No me apetecería tener que comprar la mierda del mapa, pero voy a tener que hacer porque no me acuerdo cómo iba. You're right. Do you play... what the fuck? ¿Cómo se llamaban esas aventuras gráficas de...
Excuse me, but now it's only you again. Come back for the
Oh, fuck. Historical... Templar... point and click. I don't know if you... maybe understand me, but... ¿cómo se llamaban esas putas? The Broken Sword. The Broken Sword Telltales.
I'll take it. It'll make a swell gift.
There you go. You made a wise decision. Now get lost.
Broken Sword is the best. I played that a long time ago. Te tenía teclado.
I think I've been had.
No, no te puedo creer.
Map? It looks like dancing lessons.
Me cago en mi calavera, tío. Atrás 2, 3, 4. Izquierda 2, 3, 4. Derecha 2, 3, 4. Madre mía, tú la timada. ¿Y si voy y le inflo?
Excuse me, but do... Oh, it's only you again. I told you there was only one in existence. Now get lost. Excuse me, but do... Oh, it's only you again. I told you there was only one in existence. Now get lost.
Me han timado, pero...
I'll just be running along now.
Me han timado, pero mazo de bien. Espérate, voy a ir a ver a la tipa. He sido extremadamente timado. Estupendo. Ok, thanks.
I'm not going near them.
Nah, don't worry. Don't worry. Voy a ir a la cárcel a ver qué me... Porque, claro, me he pulido toda la pasta, ¿no?
It's some sort of meat or meat-like substance.
Ok.
I told you. I don't have much more to say.
Pues púdrete en el infierno, rata. Ah, le he hecho condimento. Lol. No, hombre, no hay que combinar esas cosas, hay que combinarlas. Y luego ya, pues eso tendrás que dar a los chuchetes.
It's some sort of meat or meat-like substance. It's some sort of meat or meat-like substance. I'm not going near them.
A ver, por favor. LOL.
Important notice. These dogs are not dead. They are only sleeping. No animals were harmed during the production of this game.
Me parece estupendo.
This door appears to be locked.
Vale, imagino que necesitaremos una llave. A ver.
A priceless Ming. I don't recognize the man, but that looks like the dog in the bar. I don't recognize the man, but that looks like the dog in the bar.
Vale. Entra para adentro, matador.
This looks like a job for Fester Shinetop.
What the heck?
Better leave this here.
What?
No, not the red button.
What the fuck?
It's a big, ugly, hairy yak wearing some wax lips. I can't move it. I can't move it.
Creo que se me ha quedado pillado. A tomar por culo la bicicleta.
I'll need this. I must be nuts.
What?
Heck! Gophers!
¿Qué está pasando, tú? Hombrecillo gracioso. ¿Pero qué está pasando ahí dentro, por Dios bendito?
It's beautiful. I can't open it. Uh-oh.
Vale, lo de la rata de la cárcel hay que cogerla para el troll.
Only I had a file, I could get the idol. No time for reading now. I don't see anything special about it. I don't see anything special about it. I still don't have a file. I locked the sheriff in there.
Vale, has encerrado, pero ¿cómo cojones abrimos las putas llaves? Las putas estas del... Aquí no hay nada que hacer, ¿no? Pues vámonos. La rata esa de la cárcel va a valer para el troll seguro, tío.
It's locked.
Porque, a ver, ¿esto qué es? Manual de estilo.
I think it's some kind of religious text.
Y-
No staples to be removed. That doesn't seem to work.
Parece un texto religioso, dice. Parece un texto religioso. Parece un texto religioso.
¿A quién le mando el mensaje?
What the fuck. No, abrir espada no, loco.
It doesn't seem to open. There sure are a lot of spelling errors.
¿Será posible que tenga que usar? Es que claro, no sale la acción de leer.
That doesn't seem to work.
Este me ha tangado, pero no le puedo hacer nada. A ver, voy a la del Voodoo otra vez, a ver.
Hey, I'm back and I'm ready to know more about the future. Guess no one's here.
A ver. Ah, claro, el este de las ardillas. Pero ¿por qué quería espantar a este tipo las ratas? No recuerdo eso.
Would you happen to have a file?
You think I'd be in here if I did? All I have is this carrot cake my Aunt Tilly made me. You can have that if you bring me something to get rid of these rats. I can't stand carrot cake.
Vale, pues te doy el...
Hey, this might work on the rats. Thanks. Here's the cake.
Vale.
It's heavy.
¿A quién le puedo dar el pastel para que me dé una lima?
They're yak-sized and covered with slobber. I'm certainly not going to chew on them. It's locked. It's locked. Ooh, that's refreshing. Ooh, that's refreshing. A priceless Ming.
Esa tarta parece pesada. ¿En la mesa de la cocina? ¿Del tipo del bar? No creo, no. No tiene mucho sentido.
I locked the sheriff in there. This door appears to be locked.
I
don't see anything special about it. I don't see anything special about it.
La tarta pesada. ¿Y si voy al callejón otra vez?
Oh, a circus! I love a circus.
No se me ocurre dónde puedo poner la tarta, tío.
I've got my eye on you, boy. Steal anything and I break your legs.
Mirar manual con estilo. Pero no dice nada. Haz el mono. Atrás. 2, 3, 4. Izquierda. 2, 3, 4. Derecha. 2, 3, 4. Ok. Es que lo de la tarta parece pesada. Quizás deberías de buscar dentro. Vale. O sea, tengo que abrir la tarta para algo, pero ¿cómo? Ah, coño, con la puta espada, soy gilipollas.
That doesn't seem to work.
Ajá, y ahora, claro. Hola, Chulu. ¿Qué pasa? Buenos días. Clasicazo, sí, sí. Estoy aquí descubriendo las malditas historias estas. Vale. Ahora, ¿a quién hay que salvar? ¿A la rata o al fulano?
I better not wear it out before I get the idol.
Vale. Y el ídolo estaba en la mansión.
This door appears to be locked.
Venga, hasta luego, chulu.
Ahoy!
This door appears to be locked.
Pero si lo que quiero es abrirla. Vale, joder.
I've got the file. Whee!
What the fuck. Vale. Hasta luego.
Whew. That was a close one. At least I got the idol.
But I'm not done with you yet.
Uh-oh.
Thought you could get out of here with the idol of many hands, did you?
Look, I can explain.
So can I. You poisoned the governor's pet poodles,
They're just sleeping.
broke into her house,
The door was unlocked.
and stole one of her most valuable pieces of art.
No, you've got it all wrong.
Oh, really? Well, let's hear your explanation.
She said I could have it.
Ah!
What's going on here?
I caught this hoodlum making off with your idol, Governor. He says you gave it to him.
That's right, I did.
What?
You heard me, Fester. The real question is, how did he get in here while you were on guard? Oh, just go away, Fester. I can handle...
Dame un segundo que voy a quitar Discord. Perdón.
this, Governor Elaine Marley. So, I gave you the idol, eh?
Bueno.
Gee.
Relax, Mr. Threepwood. I know why you're here. Believe me, you're not the first who's tried. Although I have to admit, not many get as far as you have. My lookout told me of your arrival. I've wanted to meet you ever since I heard your fascinating name. Tell me, Guybrush, why do you want to be a pirate? You don't look like one. Your face is too... sweet.
Ahí va tú, cuidado.
I see. Well, you're obviously not in the mood for idle chit-chat, are you? I suppose you've got many more exciting things to do? I won't take up any more of your time, Mr. Threepwood.
I really wish I knew how to talk to women.
Pero ¿y el cacharro del este no se lleva, no? Vale. Bueno, por lo menos podemos ir a por los...
Where do you think you're going, Throom Wade?
Excuse me, Mr. Shinetop, but you're blocking the doorway.
I think you need to cool off. Hand over your sword.
Uh-oh.
This is the end of the road, my little pantalooned pal. Your troublemaking days on Melee Island are over. My plans for the governor are far too important and much too near completion to risk letting a would-be pirate like you get in the way. So long, Mr. Spicecake or Droopface or whatever your name is.
Hasta luego.
This might actually turn out to be a pretty good day.
Bueno, imagino que aquí tendremos que...
I can't reach that from here.
Imagino.
Can't reach that from here. Actually, it's more like a fabulous doorstop.
Más bien parece un tope.
I bet this will come in handy. No staples to be removed.
Pero tú sí tienes grapas para quitarte y retraca.
I can't reach that from here. I can't reach that from here. Actually, it's more like a fabulous doorstop.
Con los peces parece que no puedo interactuar.
No staples to be removed. That doesn't seem to work.
Hey, Nick. I just committed a felony.
Did it involve that big knife you've got there?
Yeah. What should I do with it?
Well, get rid of it.
I'll throw it in the water.
No, don't do that.
Why not? I need to ditch it.
It might wash up somewhere.
What do I care? My prints won't be on it. I'm throwing it in.
Venga, échamelo.
I might need it. See ya.
See ya.
Qué cabrones, cómo te la juegan.
I can't reach that from here. I can't reach that from here. I can't reach it. I'm tied to this stupid idol.
Pero si me estoy intentando desatar del estúpido idol, pero no me...
No staples to be removed.
A ver, como me han quitado la puñetera espada, ¿cómo me puedo desatar yo de esta mierda?
That doesn't seem to work. That doesn't seem to work. A priceless Ming. I can't reach that from here.
Joder, macho. No veo nada así.
I can't reach that from here.
Tienes que salir rápido del agua. Que sí, ya lo sé que tengo que coger algo del puñetero.
I guess I'll be needing a sword. This one will do.
Lo peor de todo es que me va a estar pasando una espada para nada.
Well, that wasn't so hard. Now all I have to do is show this stupid idol to the pirate leaders and...
You're alive!
Governor!
Hey, you can talk. How would have known?
What are you doing here? Come to finish the job?
No, I came down here to save your life. Fester wasn't acting on my orders when he threw you in there.
You came down here to rescue me? I didn't even think you liked me.
Well, our first meeting was a little awkward. You seem to have trouble forming complete sentences. But then again, so do most of my citizens.
But I'm not one of your citizens. I'm just a drifter. A nobody. A would-be pirate. Who would have known or even cared if you'd let me drown?
I would have, Guybrush.
Qué bonito.
Oh, Governor.
Oh, Threepwood.
Oh, Elaine.
Oh, Guybrush.
Love Muffin.
Sugar Boots.
Honey Pumpkin.
Plunder Bunny.
Kiss me.
No, we mustn't.
What?
Not here, where everyone can see us.
Why? Are you ashamed of me?
No, it's not that at all. It's just that many of these pirates have made advances towards me. And to avoid hurting their feelings, I've always told them that my father made me promise never to fall in love with a pirate.
Hostia puta, esto va a acabar mal.
Together, they'll know I was lying.
Okay then, let's go to your place.
Okay. But finish your trials first. I don't want you to be preoccupied.
But
Ay.
feel this sudden urge to complete the trials quickly.
Vale, vamos a darle el token a estos.
Well, if it isn't the boy who wants to be a pirate, how do you fare on your quests?
I'm the sneakiest footpad in these aisles.
Ah, the idol of many hands. You're a brave lad. And thank you for stealing it for us.
Tell me again about the lost treasure.
All you must do is find the legendary lost treasure of Melee Island and bring it back here.
And don't forget, X marks the spot.
Qué cabrones, es que... Vale.
I'll just be running
Se ves...
along now.
Leave us to our grog.
Come back later and tell us how you're doing.
Bueno, pues yo creo que ya está bien. Por hoy, ¿no? Yo creo que sé. Uf. A ver... A ver qué podemos hacer con esto. Es que...
There sure are a lot of spelling errors.
¿Quién será el capitán ese que tenemos que...
I don't want to come between a pirate and his grog.
Estos están dormidos. ¿Quién nos puede enseñar a usar la espada?
He looks pretty shook up. I better leave him alone.
A ver, ahora... ¡Epa, qué cabrón! Me la quería jugar. No, voy a ir a la casa de la tipa esta a ver qué vaina. Porque este nos ha tangado de puta madre. Los otros ahora no nos hablan. Así que... Porque parece que a Hook no hay que ir. Tengo curiosidad por el maldito mapa. Atrás 2, 3, 4. Izquierda, derecha. Izquierda, derecha, atrás. Derecha, izquierda, atrás. Cha, cha, cha. Igual hay que hacer el mono para llegar a la X. Sí, no sé. Creo que al pararme en medio al pararme en medio del este no... Se ha quedado ahí un poco borracho y...
I better be careful not to cut myself.
¿Qué pasa, Sebas?
This door appears to be locked.
Pues esto es un juego que se llama The Monkey Island. Pues porque lo voy a subir luego a YouTube y no quiero... Y la cámara molesta, básicamente.
This door appears to be locked. I don't see anything special about it.
Vale, pues si aquí no hay nada que hacer... Tienes que encontrar algo que darle al troll. El troll...
I don't see anything special about it.
Claro, no tengo la... Ah, el jarrón min, claro. Imagino que donde tengo que ir... La verdad es que menos mal que te dan algún tipo de pista, tío, porque si no, stop. Tampoco sé cuánto de largo es este juego. Sí, sí, no, me imagino que será bastante largo. Y completarlo al 100% será una puta locura.
Stop! You must pay a toll.
Oh, please, can't I pass?
Oh, boy, do you sound like a wimp.
Lol.
I don't like wimps. None shall pass. You can't pass until you pay the toll.
How much did you say the toll was?
I want something that'll attract attention, but have no real importance. None shall pass. None shall pass. That's pretty useless, but it's not what I want.
Sí, sí. What the fuck?
None shall pass.
That's pretty useless, but it's not what I want. None shall pass. None shall pass. None shall pass. That's pretty useless, but it's not what I want. None shall pass.
There sure are a lot of spelling errors.
None shall pass. That's pretty useless, but it's not what I want. I want something that will divert attention from things that are really important. None shall pass.
Voy a tener que dar.
None shall pass. That's pretty useless, but it's not what I want.
Ya sé lo que quiere, pero me cago en su puta madre. Es que no hay que darle los... Vale.
None shall pass. None shall pass. That's pretty useless, but it's not what I want. How about something salt?
Algo más salado. ¡Ah! Cojones, lo de la mierda esa que se está intentando comer la gaviota, tío. LOL, qué asco, en serio que era un puto pez. Qué cochinada, tío. Lo que pasa es que ahora tengo que ver cómo cojones le quito el pez a la gaviota de los huevos.
Cozy.
Sí, es posible, sí. Porque tiene que pasar un rato.
Hey, you can't come back here.
¿Ves?
That doesn't seem to work. I think that bird'll peck my hand off.
No creo que funcione. Pero bueno. O igual lo que quería es el trozo de...
That doesn't seem to work. That doesn't seem to work.
Igual lo que quieres es el trozo de carne, sin más. Hombre, a ver.
A rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle. What possible use could that have? That doesn't seem to work.
Sí, no, sí, me sale para agarrar, sí.
I think that bird'll peck my hand off. I think that bird'll peck my hand off. I think that bird'll peck my hand off.
Esto está hirviendo, con lo cual no lo voy a poder coger. Aquí no sale nada más para...
I can't pick that up. I don't want to put that in.
No, no sale como apagar el fuego. No sé si probar con el cacho de carne, en verdad. Igual el pez es para otra cosa. Voy a probar, a ver. Total, no tengo... Mete el pollo ahí en el estofado. A ver. A ver, la carne suele ser salada. O sea, suelen dejarla salada. Voy a probar lo del... Probaré lo de la carne del estofado y si veo que no, pues me la llevo para el troll y a bailar. Ir hacia...
Ow! Got it.
Vale. Estofado de carne. Vale. Ahora lo que tengo que hacer es... No, en los peces los tengo que agarrar, pero creo que no son nada. O sea, voy a llevar la carne estofada al fulano del este. ¿Habrá manera de cambiar? No me deja ponerlo en pixelado, tío.
That's pretty useless, but it's not what I want. None shall pass.
Pues no, la carne estofada no... No le camela al pollo este. ¿Y si se la ve al perro, tío? No. Sí, ahora estos juegos son de romperse así la cabeza, sí. ¿Ves? Conseguí el puto arenque, pero ¿cómo? Pues a saber. Pa, 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 pam, pa, 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 pa. El arenque está claro que lo tengo que pillar, pero ¿cómo es la puta cuestión? Tampoco quiero abusar de usar pruebas, ¿sabes? No, porque eso no... No tiene sentido eso. Bueno, a ver, están cansados de beber grog igual. Por probar.
Why should we take that?
That doesn't seem to work. No staples to be removed.
Y si le pego un palazo, tío. Duster, gracias por la ayuda, tío, pero que prefiero intentar hacerlo yo. Porque... la gracia es que yo lo saque, ¿sabes? Si no, yo hubiera dado la H hasta que me hubiera salido... Si el juego ya te incluye maneras de ayudarte. A ver si sale el tonto polla. Vale, hay que hacerle... Ya está. Nada. Sí, bueno, pero yo qué sé. En algún momento se me ocurriría, tranquilo. Si no, pido yo ayuda y no... Dejarme discurrir. Joder, ¿qué pasa? Estoy jugando yo. Aparte de vosotros viendo cómo juego. A ver. Pues es que, a ver, estos tipos de juegos es tocando, cliqueando en todos los lados. Pero yo estaba convencido de que podías hacer algo con la gaviota. No, que random, ¿no?
Shouldn't you have eaten me by now?
I'm not hungry. None shall pass. A red herring. Pass.
What the fuck? Es un fulano, tío, what the fuck. Grog.
Welcome to Stan's previously owned vessels. I'm off searching the globe right now for the finest in previously owned marine transportation. Have a look around. I'll be right back. Stan. I don't see anything special about it.
Vale, aquí se ha hecho pasta. LOL, la timada, me cago en su vieja la coneja.
Ah, a fixer-upper.
Claro, los barcos es una puta basura.
Now that's a nice-looking vessel.
What? As is.
Cute, but small.
Cute but small.
Looks like one of those well-engineered imports. I'm surprised this one is still afloat. Now that's a nice-looking vessel. Now that's a nice-looking vessel. Now that's a nice-looking vessel.
Vale, ¿qué tengo aquí?
That doesn't seem to work. That doesn't seem to work. No staples to be removed.
Tienes que encontrarte a alguien que enseñe el grimo. Cierto. A ver si en la casa está. Pues te podrías caer de culo con las cosas. En el Broken Sword, por ejemplo, hay cosas también muy trampólicas.
I think I'll knock. It'd only be polite.
What do you want, you wimpy little spineless maggot?
Can we step inside? It's a little chilly out here.
What did you say?
I said it's a little chilly out here.
Huh. You're right. I could catch a cold.
Hostia puta, qué cabrón.
What do you want?
Could you train me to be better than the Swordmaster?
Better than the Swordmaster? You? You could never be half the sword fighter Carla is. Even with hours of hard work and sweat and blood. I remember fighting side by side with Carla at Port Royal. The local constabulary had us cornered. It looked like we were done for, but then she said... But I digress. You just don't have what it takes.
I do so have what it takes.
You do not.
I do so.
You do not.
I do so.
I like your spirit. I'll do what I can. Of course, it'll cost you. Did you see my sign? I usually charge 30 pieces of 8 for a big job like this.
Joder, con cobrarte pasta, tío. Para que luego te timen, tío.
Well, I figured you'd do it for free.
Well, you figured wrong. What else have you got?
All I have is this dead chicken.
This isn't one of those rubber chickens with a pulley in the middle. I've already got one. What else have you got?
Me parto el culo con lo del pollo de goma, tío.
Say no more, say no more. Let's see your sword.
Okay, check it out.
Yes, this is a nice one. Let's get to it. Okay, you maggot. Why don't you whip that sword out and let's see what you can do with it? Boy, you fight like a dairy farmer. I usually don't waste my time with vermin like yourself. But seeing as this LeChuck thing has put a cramp on business, I got no choice. I need the money. Yes, I can see this is gonna take some special measures. Just want you to know, I don't do this with everyone. It's only because I feel that special student mentor pieces of 8 bonding that I'm going to these lengths. I'm gonna put you up against the machine.
Machine? Is this gonna hurt?
Buah, ya verás, vaya zaleo le va a meter.
Yikes.
Come at me. Don't be afraid, you won't hurt me. Distance! Distance! No! Beat first, then lunge. Watch your footwork. No! Beat first, then lunge. Advance, thrust, recover, parry, riposte.
Hours later.
You're starting to get the hang of it.
More hours later.
Not bad. You've got good form. Now I'm gonna let you in on the true secret of sword fighting. Sword fighting is kind of like making love. It's not always what you do, but what you say. Any fool pirate can swing a sharp piece of metal around and hope to cut something. But the pros, they know just when to cut their opponent with an insult. One that catches them off guard. You see, kid, your wit's gotta be twice as sharp as your sword. Let's try a couple of insults out, shall we? Okay, imagine this. We're fighting up a storm. Just like Carla and I were doing at Port Royal. There's a sudden break in the fighting, and I say to you, you fight like a dairy farmer. You respond with,
I am rubber, you are glue.
I can see we've got a lot of work to do here. You should have responded with something like, how appropriate. You fight like a cow. You see, it's razor-sharp wit like that that wins fights. Let's try another. Imagine this. You're trapped up against a wall. My sword just slashed 2 cuts into your face. I say, soon you'll be wearing my sword like a shish kebab. You respond with,
A ver. No es que Port Royal sea de Piratas del Caribe, es que Port Royal es una ciudad real de la historia del Caribe, Duster. No es que sea algo de Piratas del Caribe. Port Royal existe de verdad. Ah, no sé si lo sabrás o no. Me estás vacilando.
I am rubber, you are glue.
I can see we're in deep trouble here. A correct response to, soon you'll be wearing my sword like a shish kebab, would have been something like, first, you better stop waving it around like a feather duster. See? Razor sharp. Now, I suggest you go out there and learn some insults.
I can't help but feel like I've been ripped off. I'm sure you're feeling something similar.
Sí, yo también siento que nos han timado, pero bueno. Llevo sintiendo que me han timado durante todo el juego.
Prices. Sword training, 30 pieces of weight. Cannon firing, 160 pieces of weight. Balls extra. Grappling hook, 130 pieces of weight. Hook extra.
Madre mía. Pues así estáis. Pero no estudiáis historia, Duster, ¿o qué? Porque eso no es cuestión. No es geografía, es historia. Más que geografía, eso es historia. Pues. ¿No habéis estudiado la época colonial? Bueno, claro. ¿Qué pregunta? Perdón por iba a hacer una pregunta totalmente estúpida. Iba a hacer una pregunta totalmente sin sentido. En verdad no, en verdad tengo que ir a la cabaña. Vamos a hablar con la tiparraca esta, a ver qué nos cuenta, ¿no?
How dare you approach the Swordmaster with... Oh, it's you again.
I beg your pardon. I must talk to you.
I doubt that. Everyone who comes here is prepared to fight. Let's be honest. You're here to prove yourself to the pirate leaders in hopes of one day being as immoral as they are.
Yep. Nailed it right on the head. Gee, you're smart.
I can tell by the sarcastic expression on your face that you've been fully trained by Captain Smirk. I can also tell from the Melee Times sports page that you haven't won a single fight. This would be nothing more than a waste of my time.
Vale, o sea que tengo que irme a currar con peña por el mapa, ok. Para que luego que el sistema educativo es bueno. No, el problema es que el sistema educativo enseña lo que les da los cojones. Y no hace más que gente que no sabe que es por Royal, porque eso es historia ligada a España. Que no es una isla española. Bueno, vale, pero... Pero deberías de saber que es por Royal, por lo menos. O que por Royal es algo real, que no es inventado una película. Pero bueno, no estamos aquí para hablar de esto.
This better be important.
My name is Guybrush Threepwood. Prepare to die. Boy, are you ugly.
What an amateur insult. I'm not gonna take your insolence sitting down.
I'm shaken. I'm shaken.
I've spoken with apes more polite than you.
Vale.
Oh, yeah? I give up. You win.
Aye, this better be important.
No, lo que no es bueno es el contenido de las cosas. No que evalúen por un número o no evalúen por un número. Porque que no te enseñen eso es lamentable, no lo siguiente.
You call yourself a pirate?
Ha! Is that the best you can come up with? I'm not gonna take your insolence sitting down.
How appropriate. You fight like a cow.
People fall at my feet when they see me coming.
Ya, pero es que para eso, Daxter, tienes la FP y las carreras. el concepto de... Ahora a mí se me da bien la tecnología y no las mates. Las mates vas a tener que utilizar... Si te gusta la tecnología vas a tener que utilizar las mates sí o sí. Te guste o no te guste, con lo cual tienes que saber matemáticas. Y tu paso por el colegio o instituto te tiene que servir para que, aunque no seas bueno en todo, sepas de todo. Y puedas aplicar luego eso que te vale a algo como la tecnología. Y desde luego, si te gusta la tecnología, tiene que gustarte tienes que ser bueno en matemáticas porque la tecnología y las matemáticas van ligadas de la mano. Lo siento mucho.
How appropriate. You fight like a cow.
Mierda, fallé.
Behind you, a three-headed monkey.
Entonces no es que no está mal hecho, sino que te sirve para... Sí, bueno, me da igual, pero me refiero que ese hecho de que pienses que no te sirve para nada una cosa u otra, es que te sirve todo, porque en algún momento de tu vida igual te sirve. Que luego no lo utilices, bueno, pero eso es...
Soon you'll be wearing my sword like a shish kebab.
Básicamente, oros.
People fall at my feet when they see me coming.
Even before they smell your breath.
Oh.
There are no words for how disgusting you are.
A ver qué dice. Para escribir lo asqueroso que eres.
How appropriate. You fight like a cow.
Nah, creo que he fallado.
This is the end for you, you gutter crawling
Vale.
cur.
Para el gordo de 8 patas.
How appropriate. You fight like a cow.
¡No!
Uncle! Uncle!
Fuck.
Move out of the way, or I cuts my way through.
My name is Guybrush Threepwood. Prepare to die. This is the end for you, you gutter-crawling cur.
I'm shaking! I'm shaking!
You fight like a dairy farmer.
I am rubber, you are glue.
I've spoken with apes more polite than you.
I am rubber, you are glue. I give up, you win.
Vale. A ver si ahora me deja combatir con ella.
How dare you approach the Swordmaster with... Oh, it's you again.
Pone una cara más de asco, tío.
My name is Guybrush Threepwood. I've come to kill you.
Nothing like being honest. I can tell by the sarcastic expression on your face that you've been fully trained by Captain Smirk. I can also tell from the Melee Time sports page that you've won only one fight. Not nearly enough to waste my time.
Oh, me va a tocar farmearme kills. Como en la arena de Sea of Thieves, tío.
This better be important.
Lo voy a sacar la espada azul, sí, sí.
My name is Guybrush Threepwood. Prepare to die. This is the end for you, you gutter-crawling cur.
Oh, yeah?
There are no words for how disgusting you are.
I'm shaking, I'm shaking.
You fight like a dairy farmer.
I am rubber, you are glue. I give up, you win.
Move out of the way or I cuts my way through.
My name is Guybrush Threepwood. Prepare to die.
Mira, no querías PvP.
End for you,
Duster.
you gutter-crawling cur.
And I've got a little tip for you. Get the point?
Hostia, este me la ha liado.
There are no words for how disgusting you are.
Even before they smell your breath?
I'm not gonna take your insolence sitting down.
Oh, yeah?
Este del...
Behind you, a three-headed monkey.
El del gorro negro todavía se me...
My name is Guybrush Threepwood. Prepare to die. This is the end for you, you gutter-crawling cur.
Oh, yeah?
You fight like a dairy farmer.
How appropriate. You fight like a cow.
Qué buena.
I once owned a dog that was smarter than you.
I'm shaking. I'm shaking.
You have the manners of a beggar.
How appropriate. You fight like a cow.
No, ¿por qué?
Yikes, nice move.
No, no me va a dejar pegarme con ella. Por casualidad.
Aye, this
Vale.
better be important.
My name is Guybrush Threepwood. Prepare to die. Soon you'll be wearing my sword like a shish kebab.
Oh, yeah?
You fight like a dairy farmer.
How appropriate. You fight like a cow. I've spoken with apes more polite than you.
Ah, colega de los monos.
I am rubber, you are glue.
Me la va a quitar.
People fall at my feet when they see me coming.
Esta es la del aliento.
Even before they smell your breath? I once owned a dog that was smarter than you.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
Wow, you're good enough to fight the sword, master.
Bueno, pues yo creo que Después de la pelea con la chica esta, con la Swordmaster, vamos a dejarlo. Mañana seguiremos tranquilamente.
How dare you approach the Swordmaster with... Oh, it's you again.
My name is Guybrush Threepwood. I've come to kill you.
Nothing like being honest. I can tell by the sarcastic expression on your face that you've been fully trained by Captain Smirk. Let's get this over with. I've got the courage and skill of a master swordsman.
And I've got a little tip for you. Get the point?
Yeah.
My tongue is sharper than any sword.
Even before they smell your breath?
Now I know what filth and stupidity really are.
Nada, esa la voy a perder.
How appropriate. You fight like a cow.
I hope you have a boat ready for a quick escape.
Vale, barco para una rápida huida. Pues aquí no puedo...
Oh, yeah?
I usually see people like you passed out on tavern floors.
And I've got a little...
Nah, esta la voy a perder, la tengo perdida.
Get the point?
Lo sabía yo.
Uncle!
I hope this teaches you a lesson. Now scram.
Pues aquí lo voy a dejar. Luego a las 4, 4 y media pues volveremos con más videogames, con Sea of Thieves seguramente. Sí, pero no hay más insultos. Esto se basa, Noros, en que cada vez que yo me peleo con alguien consigo más insultos. Entonces, esto es prueba y error. Todo lo que ella me ha dicho ya lo tengo yo. Entonces lo que tengo que hacer es jugar con ella todas las veces que pueda para saber... Perdón, es que ha entrado gente en la habitación y he tenido que cortar el micro. No, lo que digo, Oros, es que es eso, que se puede... Los insultos los vas coleccionando. O sea, esto no es un combate como el del Sea of Thieves, que pegas palos y tal, sino que a medida que vas cogiendo insultos, pues vas ganando combates a la gente. Efectivamente, Riku lo cogió a la primera. Pues lo dicho, chicos, os voy a dejar. Luego nos vemos a la tarde. Jaranita guapa. Y nada, lo dicho. Muchas gracias por haberos pasado. Y vamos a guardar la partida. 21% completado. What the fuck. Tiempo de juego 3 horas 10 minutos. Y de stream 20 minutos. Vale. Pues nada, chicos, lo dicho. Luego nos vemos. Chao, chao. Muchísimas gracias por haber estado aquí este ratito conmigo. Espero que os haya molado el rollo del Monkey Island. Pues lo tendremos por las mañanas seguramente. Estos días que estoy aquí en Burgos. Y nada. Lo podéis ver resubido si queréis también en YouTube. Así que... Chao, chao.